this year's Buffy. I will personally say thank you. It was an awesome episode. It was.
Well, you were very welcome.
Don't hurt the place. We were actually just talking on our way here. It's along with I think Once More with Feeling and Normal Again. It's like one of my favorite episodes of the entire season so far.
Well, thank you very much.
It was awesome.
And we're not just kissing your ass.
No.
Seriously, we would say this even if you weren't here.
I'm sure many happy Willow Terra fans share your opinion.
Oh, and we'll get to that.
Because the thing is that for us, it was so well done and so well written that despite the fact that we may have been upset by certain things that happened, but isn't that what good writing is? Isn't that what it was supposed to happen?
Isn't it supposed to invoke strong feelings?
I say yes.
That's what I say too.
I agree with you too.
We like that. We
always agree with the host. You will get presents. You will get water.
So I see a stack of questions,
yes.
and like I emailed you guys, don't hold back.
Bring it on.
Isn't that what you said? Trust me, my friends have called me a lot worse.
Yes, I think you said bring it on.
Bring it on.
Okay.
I will give you the straight dope.
Okay. Let's go to the most often asked question, I suppose. And you touched on it earlier, the whole "you're a big fat liar" thing.
I am a huge, gigantic liar.
And he's relishing in it. He's just like glowing.
You should see
I certainly
the smile on his face.
People are hating you right now.
You know what? That's okay, though.
The seething contempt and hatred.
You know what really surprises me is that I thought by now on the boards people would have realized what a huge, gigantic liar I am. I never visit without lying about everything. And of course, when people
believe what they want to believe, though.
People started hearing rumors, and they asked me, point blank, is Tara going to die? And
what did they expect
Well, did they expect
me
to say, yeah, of course not?
That's exactly, and we've discussed this because let's give a little background to those of you who don't know, though. I don't imagine anybody listening doesn't know already. Basically, on the Bronze one day, you came on and somebody asked, is Tara going to die or whatever? And you said, over my dead body. So people have been sending in question asking if you're okay, if you're ill, if you're dead, basically because you lied to them. It's one thing to maybe not answer the question, but it was a whole other to flat out lie and get their hopes up and then
Well, part of the thing at Mutant Enemy, since I do talk to the fans, is I kind of feel a semi-responsibility to throw up a little smoke now and then.
Right. And my point, I think, last week when we started getting these questions was I think the writers, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the writers have almost been forced to lie at this point because so many people are out there getting spoilers and finding out things about future episodes, and everybody almost knows everything that's already going to happen from here to the end of the season.
It really is. There's huge, giant leaks that we have yet been able to pinpoint, to the point that with Seeing Red in the script, Tara getting shot and killed wasn't in the shooting draft. It was a separate page.
Oh, really? You stuck it in at the last minute.
So when we were sending it out to all the departments, that was not in the script.
Right.
But, of course, by the time we started filming, Marty had already written the next episode.
Okay.
Which makes reference to it. And, people,
no way you can get around
people got a hold of that. And so we really only delayed it for about a week.
All right. Okay, let's get into some more of the specific questions. So basically you're saying people shouldn't believe anything you say at this point.
I think I've told people not to believe anything I say.
Right.
And, of course, the caveat there is that I always sprinkle in some truth here and there just to throw you off.
I think, when I heard that you had done that, because I don't visit the Bronze regularly, but when I had heard that you had done that, honestly, I laughed. I just thought it was the funniest thing.
I don't know if anyone can hear me or not.
We can hear you.
But people called and said they couldn't, but we'll see.
Just yell.
But no, the thing is that no disrespect to anybody out there who really, really is hurt by whatever. I laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
Not the death, but the fact that he said
the fact that he lied, because it just reminded me of in South Park when they lied about Cartman. Next week.
And the father, yeah.
Then they showed the whole Terrence and Phillip episode. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Well,
now everyone hates me.
No, it's okay. The fact is that they have been almost forced to do this. And what I've told people is that if your favorite characters are happy or if your couple is happy, it's not going to last. That's just how it is. And by season 6, people should know this by now.
Yep, if you're happy, it doesn't look good.
Right. So it's best that your couple is miserable.
Right.
You have a better chance that way.
You should never invest too much time in any couple.
Right, absolutely.
Or a character, for that matter. You should never know.
Exactly. So I just thought that not only you, but other writers, producers have been forced to say things that have later found out to be false.
Erroneous.
Yes.
Erroneous.
And with the exception, people keep quoting a Doug Petrie quote.
Yes, I got plenty of those. That it's all about this lesbian cliche thing.
Yeah, well, with the Doug Petrie quote, that happened way before we knew that Tara was going to get it.
That brings up another question.
I think it happened before we knew.
People want to know, when was it decided that Tara was going to die? How long ago?
I'm actually a little fuzzy on that. It was either at the end of last season or right as we started this season. So we've known
for a while.
Absolutely from the beginning of this season.
Was it something that Joss came in? Was it Joss's decision? Was it a group decision?
Oh, it's a Joss decision.
How did you feel when you heard that she was going to die?
Well, Joss came in and he described the scene. Originally, it was going to be outdoors. Willow and Tara were going to be having coffee, and Warren was going to be like several blocks away, and the shot was going to go off, and we would cut to her. And he explained it exactly the way it was filmed.
Right. That
Willow gets splattered with blood. You go to Tara, and she's been shot, and she says, "Your shirt," and keels over.
Right.
So he knew that at the beginning of the season.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay. That should answer some questions, that it wasn't just something that happened recently. No,
this had been planned the entire season.
Okay. That's obviously the biggest issue right now. That between that and the whole Buffy Spike bathroom scene, that's pretty much all of our questions.
Yes, the Spike Buffy bathroom scene. Now, I'm sure there are people out there after my last episode, Dead Things, and now this one, are sure that I absolutely hate women. Because I keep killing innocent women.
It's not just that, but if I were to look at your last two episodes, I think you have quite an understanding, at least for Spike. I think you write Spike incredibly well in these, at least in these last two episodes that I've really, really enjoyed. And we did have, let me get to a couple questions on the Buffy Spike stuff. We will get back to the Tara Willow stuff. Don't worry, everybody, that you send in questions. We will get to as many as possible. This one, though, was sent in, and they ask, in the Buffy Spike bathroom scene, why didn't Buffy use her Slayer abilities immediately instead of pleading and crawling away? I'm a little confused because in previous situations she had been injured worse and she still fought powerfully. Also, I'm not sure if she could be shocked at Spike's actions since she believes he is an evil, soulless thing that she doesn't trust. Can you please unconfuse the confused? And
I had a question that was similar to that, too. Just like, why didn't... Because my first instinct was Buffy was going to kick his ass and fight back, but she didn't. And I do have my own interpretations of why she didn't, but obviously no one cares about me, so let's listen to you.
Go ahead. I don't know what...
Well, one is the physical aspect. She was injured twice in a short period of time.
Right.
She hurt her back in the fight with the vampire.
Right.
And then when she fell, she injured herself again on the bathroom tub.
Oh,
and she actually tells Spike, "Don't, I'm hurt."
Right. You hear that, yeah.
So part of it is physically being injured, and also I think being stunned at what's going on.
So she was surprised at his actions.
Yeah, I definitely, she can say she doesn't trust him.
But she does.
He's evil, but there's a part of her that I think does, and definitely did not expect that.
Right. Okay, so can you talk about this scene? That why was this? And we do have specific questions. Why was this the scene that was needed to almost push Spike to the edge to where he has to leave town and I guess do what he has to do, which is it's kind of left up in the opening. He wants to get the chip out.
Oh, well, yeah.
Why is
it's
this
squirming
the scene,
around in his head?
Why is this? Why did you use this scene as?
Well,
I'm going to share Steven's mic.
You have mic problems?
Yes, we're having mic problems, unfortunately. Go ahead.
So if I have to pipe in with anything, I'll just go right.
They're very close right now.
What was the question? Now I can't even think anymore.
Okay, let me read one specifically from somebody. Why did you choose to use attempted rape as a means of bringing Spike and Buffy to this point in the relationship?
We had talked a lot about Spike trying to do good, but ultimately he doesn't have a soul, and it's a constant struggle. His love for Buffy and what she was giving him back, even though it was often abusive, really kind of kept him on that path. But once she absolutely cut him off, in the previous week's episode, you really see him start to turn there when he tells her to get out.
Right. He has a little bit more self-respect at that point.
Yeah, and, there's a lot of self-loathing, too. I mean, on the one hand, he hates himself for what he did to Buffy by sleeping with Anya. And on the other hand, he hates himself for feeling anything for her.
Oh, well, that's, I think, been the thing that's gone through all of this, is that he doesn't understand why he's feeling this way, and he hates that he feels this way.
Right. So we were talking about how to really show this and push it in that direction. And it was Marty in the room who said, because we were talking about Spike going to Buffy to talk to her about this, and she said...
Because it starts very tenderly. It starts as a very nice
and
scene.
She said, he should go to talk to her, and it just gets out of hand. He starts to try to start up the relationship, to say, I know you felt it, I know you could feel it again, and he just won't stop.
Okay, so this seemed like a natural progression for Spike to you guys.
Yes.
To try and hurt her physically, to attempt...
Well, and to Spike... This is not to lessen what he tried to do, which was wrong. In the moment, all he was thinking about is that she loves me, and if she just lets herself feel this again, she'll feel it again.
I agree. I think that it was absolutely about power. It was absolutely about dominance. He just doesn't understand. Like, why won't you love me? Give yourself to me. And he just lost it. He totally lost it.
We also saw in the moment after she's pushed him away, she finally pushes him away, the look of horror on his face at what he had done.
Right.
So you kind of see both sides of everything that Spike is. You see the worst in him, you see the best in him in one scene. Was that the intent right there?
Yes.
Also?
And in the scene after, when he's talking about, he can't understand what he just did, and then he asks himself, why didn't I do it?
Okay, I have to say, I love that scene with he and Clem. I thought that was one of the best scenes of the entire season, because I thought everything he was saying was stuff that I know I've been thinking, I've been wanting him to say, I've been wanting to hear him say, this self-realization and pushing him to a point where he has to make a decision and do something about it.
Right.
Because he's kind of been... in a way, subservient to Buffy's emotions all season long. He's been the catalyst for things happening, and nothing's really been explored for his character as much as maybe last season.
Yeah.
Whereas it's all been about Buffy this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, but at the same time, I think his stories is just as interesting to tell, and I was really glad to see that he was questioning all this, and it's stuff that I've been waiting for all season, so I was really glad to see that.
Yeah, and he sums it up when he says, I can't be a monster, or it won't let me be a monster, and I can't be a man.
Yes, that's like it right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's stuck in this very gray area where part of him, because of the chip is suppressing him being able to attack people, he wants to help people, and particularly Buffy, but the other side, he's still a soulless vampire.
Yeah. So, and I feel that. You see the struggle that he takes. And you were just saying that the struggle that he's having, he doesn't know what to do. Am I good? Am I bad? I don't know what I'm supposed to feel anymore. I love Buffy, but it's killing me.
But I'm not supposed to.
But I'm supposed to. She doesn't love me.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, not that like you're saying, not to say that what he did was wrong.
No, I don't think anybody's sitting there at home going, "Wow, that was really great that he tried to push himself on her."
No, he totally stepped over the line.
Absolutely. Let's take a break really quick. Really good question. This it kind of ties into the whole Buffy Spike thing, but it also deals with your responsibility as a show to your viewers.
Oh my God.
Relax.
Let me have it. Let me have it.
You don't have to answer it. You don't. Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. I hate being responsible.
In regard to the bathroom scene between Buffy and Spike, I know that everyone associated with this show has been saying that Buffy is not aimed at kids, but the reality is that kids do watch, as proven by Sarah's Kids' Choice Award win. And kids are going to keep watching. I'm reading messages on fan forums from 12-year-olds who are conflicted that their favorite character was portrayed in a not-so-favorable light, and are making statements like, if I was ever sexually assaulted, it would be okay. And, well, since Buffy said no before, then it's okay. Because they want so badly to be okay with the Buffy Spike scene that they want to reassure themselves that it's still okay to love Spike and to root for Buffy and Spike. Are you worried about the message it would send to these young people should Buffy and Spike continue as a romantic couple in any form? I'm not saying it's the show's job to be the moral guide for children. That's why they have parents. But I'm just curious.
She was like, can you read that again?
No, I thought it was important to read it as a whole. I didn't want to
it's an interesting question.
I just got to run out to the car for a second. I'll be right back.
No, I'm holding him.
Well, it's the whole Luke and Laura dilemma, of course.
Well,
I mean, you can't
you're right.
get away from that. There's a lot to that question that I can't answer because it involves stuff that's coming up.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Can you discuss maybe in general your responsibility to viewers, to young viewers, and how do you deal with that in the room? When you're talking about stuff, is it even an issue?
Well, the issue is usually telling the story.
Right.
It's not so much, is this all right for 14-year-old viewers?
Does it concern you at all, though?
Yeah, sometimes I would prefer the show was on at 9,
right.
A little later,
midnight on cable.
Especially this season, it's been a lot darker.
This season has been much darker, much more sexual and violent.
Yes.
Which is the story that we decided we wanted to tell.
Right.
As Buffy comes back to life, and our whole point was not to cheapen that, to make it really hard for her.
Right.
That it wasn't going to be just your standard TV, she's back, everything's fine, everything's back the way it was.
And I really liked how she said that to Xander, that it was really hard for me to come back. And I'm glad that she did say that, because I've kind of been waiting for her to say that. So.
Yeah, and she feels like she can't talk to her friends because,
yeah.
One, deep down, they don't want to hear it because they brought her back.
Oh, yeah, they don't want to hear that what they did was wrong.
Yeah.
No, hell no.
Yeah, now, the bathroom rape scene was harsh. It was intended to be harsh and ugly and very real. If you look back at it, you'll notice there's no music until after it's over.
Right.
Because we didn't want anything except it to be very stark. That's why you get a lot of those high-angle shots.
Mm-hmm. It was hard to watch.
Yes, it is. It was very hard to film, too.
Were you there that day?
I was. It was a very, very difficult shoot.
Was it very specific? Did you have, was it left up to the director to kind of do whatever? Was it like in the script just says, he attacked her?
No, in the script there are specific things.
What was important to show there?
Well, usually in the script we give the points that they have to connect. Him moving in on her, things getting out of control, her falling against the tub, her scrambling for the door, him being on top of her. Mm-hmm.
The pulling at the legs part, that really got me. When she's kicking and he's pulling at the legs.
Yeah, that was also in the script.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Hello. Somebody else wrote in asking about the significance of him leaving his coat behind. Is there any? Yeah, people are going to read into everything.
He's like, I can't say. Let's do it next week.
With the next 3 episodes.
It's a little something we're planning for season 8 that I think will pay off. No, it's just basically, did 2 reasons. Going to a state of mind that he just left.
It was off when he came in, though.
Yes, because he had hung it over the.
Right, he left it and walked upstairs.
Okay, keep going. I have a comment after that, though.
When he came up.
You said there were a couple reasons.
I actually didn't see last night's episode. I just want you to know that. Originally in the script, I believe the first draft he had his coat on, and there's a scene where Xander's coming up the street, and you actually see Spike leave.
Oh.
And that's how Xander knows Spike was there. We had to cut that out for time and expense. Mm-hmm. And then we had a slight problem of how did Xander know he was there.
Okay.
So it was kind of a dual thing, Spike's state of mind and needing to have Xander know Spike had been there.
While watching that scene, I got the distinct feeling when it first started. It's hot in here. Sorry about that.
I'm going to just do a little strip. It's a little birthday thing.
Ooh.
We'll ask about his underwear later, kids. Don't you worry. When I was watching it, I got the distinct feeling. It felt like a dream at the very beginning. Because there was no setup. There was we didn't see her come home. You didn't see him come in. It was so abrupt. Mm-hmm. Was there a reason for that? Was there a reason why anything was anything cut? It just felt so dreamlike, like it was almost unreal.
Well, again, in the first draft, you see her come home, you see her go up the stairs, but ultimately we just decided it was a lot of unnecessary business.
Okay.
That we could just cut to an exterior of the house and then have her come in.
Yeah, it just felt very strange when I watched it.
No, it did. It had a weird feeling. It had a whole dreamlike quality, and I maybe that added to it. But I also agree with the fact just cut to it. Cut to the
right, and I also think adding to that dreamlike quality is we don't do a lot of scenes in the bathroom, and it is a big white space.
It's a big bathroom.
It
I don't
is.
think we've ever seen the bathroom.
Yeah, we saw.
During when her and Faith switched bodies, that was the only time I really remember her really being in the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever seen
think Xander went
the
pee
big
in there.
high shot. Some people ask me, did they build the big bathroom for that? No, the big bathroom's always been there. It's just, we don't shoot that much.
How many
in it.
times do things occur in the big bathroom? That's the question.
I'm glad you stopped neglecting the bathroom.
I think there should be more of that in there.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. The next hitting question.
How do you reconcile the idea of Buffy as a strong feminist role model with her seeming victim status in her sexual relationships?
Now is this all of her sexual relationships?
They said all of them, but
one?
I think it's just this one.
Just this
But
one?
they all end bad.
They really do.
Poor Buffy.
Poor Buffy.
And, you also have to look at all of the Spike Buffy stuff this season. He's gotten it pretty good, too. I mean, she's beating the crap out of him.
Don't you worry. The Spike fans have noticed.
Yes.
They think she's beating the crap out of him and that he's... There are many questions about how she's taking advantage of him.
Originally at the beginning of the season, or at the end of last season, we had talked about this, that we weren't setting this up as a healthy relationship. Quite the opposite. We were setting it up as an unhealthy relationship. She's making a very bad decision.
But, at the same time, I think people have been able to see healthy things out of it, come from it.
There have been glimmers, yeah. Yeah, but ultimately, she's never really treated Spike as a person. It's been much more as a thing, an object.
Can you shed any light on... I know you probably can't. Just feel free to say no. Just for the fans out there who really like seeing them together, what kind of future can you see with them? Is it absolutely over? Can you even answer that?
Not even close.
Not even close so you can answer it, or not even close that it's over?
He's just leaving it.
Not even close.
All right. And if you want to believe him, that's up to you.
Anything could happen.
Oh, okay. It's not unusual for an audience to find hope and inspiration in watching a fictional character redeem themselves in a story. Do the writers think this accounts for Spike's popularity? And if so, does it have an impact on the way he's written?
Yes, I also think his popularity has a lot to do with James Marsters.
I would think so.
I mean, he is an incredible actor and not bad to look at.
Nah, not so bad.
He's okay.
He's all right.
And he has no problem with the nude scenes.
Well,
wait, there's going to be nude scenes?
No, with the nude scenes this season.
But there's going to be more nude scenes? With Spike?
Just write in, okay.
I will say you might see him again with his shirt off.
That's it? I want to see some tush.
I'll see what I can do.
I want to see some Spike ass.
Okay. I'm going to move.
I'm trying to keep it light here, okay?
I appreciate that, sweetie. I do.
Yeah, I'm the color commentator.
Okay. I kind of want to leave Spike and Buffy behind for now. And
Get it behind.
Shut up. I knew you were doing that.
Well, hey, you set it up.
I know. Facing the bronzer community can be quite a daunting task, especially after last night's episode. Now, most of us sane people realize that there wasn't any grand anti-anyone statement being made, but because that was a big accusation at this point.
Oh, the grand anti-lesbian statement?
Yes, that y'all hate them, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that was
because
that was the reason for the, 2.5 seasons of a beautiful lesbian relationship. I can tell you this, if she were still dating Oz, he'd be dead right now.
You know what? And this, Kitty and I are actually talking about this because a lot of our emails said the very same thing. And I suggest this is just a little note to everybody out there. If you have a group of you that have the same question, all 30 of you don't have to send in the same question. I get it the first time. The thing is that a lot of them are calling this a lesbian cliche. Yeah, a lot of them use this terminology.
We don't get that.
Well, I don't understand. How is it a cliche that a lesbian dies and the other one gets all crazy and evil?
And the thing is if Willow and Tara never had any love or never had any relationship, people would say, well, why aren't you giving the lesbians any relationships or anything good? And I didn't even think of it that way.
I don't even think of them as lesbian.
I don't know. I didn't. I mean, it was like Tara died. I was like, oh my God, how sad for Willow and how sad for all her friends and how sad that they cannot be happy now. But
right, that's what it was. It was more the happy couple got screwed instead of the lesbian couple.
And even my friend Jen, when she found out Tara was going to die, she goes, I knew it. She goes, I knew they were too happy.
Yeah.
And it was nothing to do with their sexual orientation.
Absolutely.
I really didn't think that at all, and I swear that was not even something that ran into my brain. And when people started saying that, I was like, huh?
And I think it's actually the opposite. We treated the two of them as just two characters on the show.
I think it's pretty obvious that's how you treated her.
Yeah, and if we had really focused on the fact that it was a lesbian character, we might have said, oh, geez, we can't do that. It's a lesbian character. We can't kill her. And that is totally wrong. Pretty much on the show, anybody except the major principals that have contracts until 2012, look out, they could get it.
That's exactly it.
And we can still kill a major character. And we might have to bring him back, or,
a couple times,
or a robot or something. But
it can be done.
Yeah, but no, I mean, we always, when we wrote them, we treated them like just two characters that just both happen to be women.
Yeah. I think that's the best way you could have done it. I think that's the most respectful way you could have done it. And I don't... okay, I'm not even going to say anything. But Amber Benson in the credits last night.
Yes.
Talk about that. Whose decision? Why?
That was the man's decision.
Okay. A lot of people say either A, it was a way of getting people's hopes up yet again, of thinking, well, they can't kill off the person in the credits. And to that I say, watch Season 1's DVD where Joss specifically stated that he wanted to put... the Jesse guy in the opening credits in the first episode just to throw people off. He wanted to do that to screw with everybody.
What was his name? Eric
Balfour. Yeah, and he wanted to do it, but they didn't have the budget then. They have the budget now. They're getting a lot of money.
Yes.
So
we can do that now.
And yet some people say it was like a tribute, saying thank you, Amber, type of thing.
It was. It was a thank you, Amber. Mm-hmm. And, I'd be lying if I didn't say there was probably a little impishness in that. Of course.
Kind of mean.
It's not that we're ever mean, but we thought it would be really cool. I mean, ultimately, it was really cool to put her in the opening credits.
It was nice
especially
to see her.
As a going away kind of thing.
Can I just tell you how I didn't get to see the opening credits? Because John goes, okay, so we see the opening of Buffy, and then this opening credits start, and John goes, turn to the basketball game, turn to the basketball game. I was like, but it's not Buffy without the opening, so I'll just turn it. So I turn it, and he goes,
got
okay.
Screwed.
And so he goes, now you can turn back. And I didn't even know she was in the opening credits. I was so pissed.
It was a beautiful moment.
It was really nice.
And I missed it.
Well, you suck.
I know. Everything sucks.
We're going to take another break.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Hello? If you can...
say we're experiencing...
Can they even hear us? You think... Can they hear us?
I don't know. It's not... Is it registering on the board?
Yeah. Look, they can... Look, right there.
Should I throw out a string of curses and see what happens?
I know.
No, tell us all about next season. And...
Well, you see next season.
We don't know why. I think that,
what happened? Did I break it?
I think that just all the power has just...
Do you think the car? See if we're on the radio. Doesn't anybody have a radio around here? Little crystal radio?
Answer the phone. That's probably Flipply.
Maybe a little ham action?
No, if we're on the air.
Or if... We're on. They can hear us. We just can't hear in the headphones. That's all it is. We just can't hear in the headphones.
All right. Well, we can't hear ourselves. We don't even... I guess Chibamano...
Scintillating radio.
If it did, that was Chibamano doing Sugar Water. From when she was bad, 2.1, that was for Stephanie. We don't know what just happened. I think just... If there's some cosmic forces at work.
Basically, our headphones are no longer working, so we can't hear anything.
The music, we couldn't hear the music either. Again, you guys, if we didn't have scripts, it wouldn't be the fucking stuff.
I suspect it was the lesbians.
It's all their fault.
I'm pretty sure.
And the dead vampires.
Dead vampires, lesbians.
Yeah.
Check them here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're on?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan.
What the hell happened? Okay.
I didn't do it, I swear.
But now we sound like we're underwater.
Stop complaining.
I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm going to kill that phone. Okay, headphones turned way up. Okay. Steve, having been a Tara Amber fan for a while now, I have to say I admire the way you wrote the final Tara Willow scene. Look, it's a fan.
Yes, finally. I rock.
From what I've seen of it, well, I guess this was... Actually, I want to talk about that because the episode got out about a week early. People saw it a week early.
Bastards.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
So it's Canadian bastards, aren't they?
Sad for the fans, but in many ways it was powerfully done. My question was it difficult to write this episode at all? Or that scene? Was it difficult?
It was a hard episode to write. Not because of the scenes. Just sometimes when you're writing, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're a little off. And this one actually had to actually work. Which I'm against. I'm totally against.
Sometimes it just comes to you really easily,
sometimes
right?
it comes fast and easy, and this one, just took a while for me to click into it.
That makes sense.
But, no, not that hard to write. I think probably the subject matter in Dead Things was a little harder. because there was a lot
That was also
harsher stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine some of the fight scenes, and that was also difficult to pen. Maybe it helped if I turn you up. Or not.
There we go. Funny. Oh, whoa, there we go.
Kitty has a voice.
You can hear me now.
The rape scene, it looks difficult, but the actual rape part of the scene in the script is very short because it's a description, scene description, and just a couple of lines of dialogue. Up until there, they're just talking.
Right.
So it wasn't as hard to write as it might look.
It's more the director had a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was very hard to act it, but not that difficult to actually write.
Okay, cool. Steve.
Yes.
You wrote Dead Things, which was brilliant, and now seeing Red. My question is, did you deliberately show similarities between Buffy's dilemma, i.e. beating up Spike and then questioning her motives, and Spike's, i.e. almost raping Buffy and then questioning his motives? I see huge similarities in their emotions, their questioning their actions, etc. Was this deliberate on your part?
Oh, absolutely. We planned this back in season 4. And I was just glad that I got the chance to do that.
He's bad.
Subconsciously... well, no, what am I saying? Yes, absolutely I planned that.
You're brilliant.
What, are you kidding me? I saw the parallel. I wasn't actually just, accidentally repeating myself. I was stealing the good stuff from my previous
just
script.
Plagiarizing myself, that's all.
I ran out of stuff to say.
It was good, though, man. It was good.
Really good.
I only steal the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, so you think.
Did I avoid that question artfully?
That was beautiful.
Yes, it was great.
You're turning this into a fine art. Are the writers afraid that you are sending out the messages that sex is bad or Buffy shouldn't be having sex? It looks like Buffy is always punished or made to feel dirty when she has great sex.
Well, I know I feel that way.
After great.
I mean,
but aren't we supposed to feel dirty?
I vaguely remember that I feel that way.
Oh.
So long ago. No. I'm going to come out firmly no. And,
I come out on the side of shrubs.
And I'll tell you why. You got to look at the whole show. If every single person were having very bad sex and guilty sex, then I would say, yeah, we're probably sending a message. But no, Buffy is extremely messed up where she is in her life.
They all are, aren't they?
They all are.
Have good dirty sex.
They did.
And then they broke up.
Up until the time they broke up. And Willow and Tara, great
sex.
Wonderful sex.
Oz and Willow?
Yeah.
Do you see how this goes, though? They have great sex, then something bad happens?
I don't think it's they have great sex,
well,
something bad happens. It's love. Well, that's trouble. So kids don't fall in love. That's what I'm saying. That's when you get
That's the message.
That's actually a really interesting point because a lot of people say, and we can joke about it, say anytime somebody's happy, something bad's going to happen, but it gets depressing after a while. It gets depressing when everything bad happens to these people and very little good happens. Especially this season. I personally love this season. I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for those who have had a hard time watching this season. A lot of people have tuned out because it's too dark. It's too depressing. What do you guys say to that? Do you even care?
Of course we care, but this is the dark, depressing story we wanted to tell this season. Next season may be different. But this time around, it felt like that was right. And again, we didn't want Buffy to come back and 2 episodes later be all jokey, everything's beautiful, It's all fine.
That would have been very unrealistic.
Right. It would have been.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that there are people that are saying that you're losing us as watchers, because of season 2 dark, or because now of this whole controversial thing with Willow and Tara. Yeah. And people are saying that they're not going to watch the show anymore.
One question we had was, do you realize that there will be viewers boycotting the show now after what happened last night?
I did not. Now, they're boycotting because of the Tara getting it? That's the boycott? I'm with them. I'm not watching anymore. I never liked that show anyway.
Are the writers aware that Spike is coming across more sympathetically than Buffy this season?
Yes. I will go firmly yes on
you can only
that
see his face.
One.
This is
it's also we go back and forth on that because she mistreated him. Yes. Was he also, as much as he was being a nice guy sometimes, he was not such a nice guy other times. I mean, in Dead Things, they say, oh, well, he was going to stop her from going to the police when it wasn't really her. He didn't know it wasn't really her, and he wasn't stopping her because he wanted to save her. He wanted to save her for himself.
Interesting.
It's a very possessive love.
It is a very possessive love.
It doesn't make it any less real. It's real to
and
him.
Does he do great heroic things for her? Yes.
But he only does it.
But, you know, he's doing it for her.
Right, and that's the big question. How good of a person is he if he's only doing things for his own personal gain?
Right, and back in 13 and Dead Things, when they're on the infamous balcony scene, you really also see he is trying to control her. He's trying to separate her from her friends. So, you know, I mean, he as much as you see the puppy dog look, you know, he's also not playing fair.
Yeah.
Well, neither of them are. They're both screwing with each other.
But a damn handsome man.
Yes, he is.
Yes, and he has no problem with the naked scenes, apparently.
If I had abs like that, I would not be wearing a shirt right now.
Really? Darn.
Lucky for you, I don't.
In Passion, when Angel killed Jenny, he did so in game face. In the Season 2 commentary video, Joss said that this was done because he knew the fans would never want to see the face that killed Jenny kissing Buffy. When Spike attempts to force himself on Buffy, he does so as Spike, no game face. Why not have him attack her in game face, therefore making it easier, I suppose, for a fraction of the fans to differentiate between Spike the Vampire and Spike the Man?
Well, we've been desperately trying to alienate that faction for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think we finally really did it. I mean, we thought long and hard how best to get rid of that faction, because they were just dragging us down. We thought it was a very, very human thing. One of the themes through this whole thing is that there are very human things happening. He tries to attack Buffy as a human. Warren, after all of his technology and supernatural goings-on with Buffy, he attacks her in a very human way with a gun.
Yes, and I definitely want to bring that up. I thought it was really interesting that, like, we forget that. Because in the Buffy world, there's never anything like that. There's swords and axes.
Well, you go all the way back.
Potions.
You have to go all the way back to Season 1, Episode 7, and Angel with Darla and her two guns, and it makes you wonder, why haven't people tried to use them on her before?
Well, Warren finally smartened up there. And also, it goes back to the fact that there were elements of this episode we wanted to be starkly realistic. The rape scene, the gun. We wanted that stuff to really resonate.
How aware are you, and how much does it matter what the fans say and think? I mean, in general, really.
Well, I mean, you know, if you read stuff on the boards that say, man, you suck, you can't write, you're a hack, you know, I could do better, of course it affects you.
In what way? Tell us.
You know, everybody's, you know...
a critic?
A critic, no.
Everybody's got a heart. Everybody has feelings.
Yeah, everybody has feelings. I mean, I'm not immune. I mean...
you can joke about it, but it also
You
does
can
hurt.
joke a lot, and, you know, the money takes the sting out. I got to admit that. But, I mean, and also, you know, when we're reading this stuff, it's not like the writers write a script and sneak it down to the stage and have it filmed, you know, and Joss realizes when it airs. What the hell do they do?
Yeah, and that's something that we want everybody to know, that it's a group decision. If not headed by Joss, then at least he's in on every decision.
He approves every script.
And he gives you the storylines. He's going to tell you, okay, Tara's going to die, and this is how she's going to do it. Now go.
Yeah, and then it's like, you know, figure out how to make that work. Figure out what the hook is, figure out, you know, what the villain's up to, and all that stuff. So, did we alienate some people? Yeah, probably. But if we just tried not to alienate anybody, man, would I not want to watch that show?
Exactly.
I agree.
That's a great way to
And
look
ultimately, we do care what the fans think, but at the end of the day, it's what we think is the best story.
And in the end, that's really what should matter, to be honest with you. And that's what I think. I do agree with you. And something that Joss mentioned, he did an interview with Wanda over at E! Online, and something that he mentioned I really wanted to bring up is the last question, and that is something similar. Buffy and Angel fans seem to be more critical this season than ever before. And they asked him if it affects him, and he says it always affects him as well. At the same time, I need to give them what they need, not what they want. They need to have their hearts broken. They need to see change. They hated Oz, but then they hated it that they left, or that he left. These things are inevitable, and people are freaking out. Or if people are freaking out, I'm good. If people are going, well, that's fine, I'm basically screwed.
Right.
And of course, to use a different word.
Yeah.
And the thing about people saying, oh, my God, this season of Buffy was the worst ever. I remember last season people were saying, this is the worst season. I hate this season.
Season 4 was the worst ever. And then before that...
Season 5.
No, what I'm saying is that it changes every year.
I know.
Yeah, and it's funny because now I'm on the board and it's like they're talking about, why didn't they bring Glory back? Oh, that was a great season. So,
you're never
of course.
You're never gonna please everybody.
You really aren't. And, do we make mistakes during a season? Of course we do. I mean, there...
What do you do about that?
Go on to the next episode. Because usually when you make a mistake, it's you really can't see it until afterwards. Like, well, in this episode we should have done this, or man, in this episode there's a lot of things that I wish I would have done differently.
But it's just like life. I mean, you do something and you make a mistake, or make me do something good, but you say, okay, well, next time I won't do that again, or this didn't work. I mean, aren't we allowed to make mistakes? Aren't people allowed to make mistakes?
Well, I think
not that there was any mistakes. I mean, I don't even know.
Plus, the biggest thing is one of the big things in TV is the time factor. Often you have so little time to get a decent script together.
Yeah.
My last episode, Dead Things, I had 4 days to write it, and things can slip by you.
Okay, thank you.
You try to stay on top of it, and everybody reads it, and details can slip past you sometimes, but we try to stay on top of that.
Okay, we're going to take another quick break. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Candy.
We have our very own haters now.
People hate us.
Woohoo!
It's so funny. But
We've
whatever.
arrived.
We've arrived. I mean, I don't know. People hate us. We're just delivering the questions, and Steven's answering them as honest as he can.
It's our opinions they don't like.
Oh, well, whatever. What can you do?
And the fact that we're not asking the right questions.
Well, we're trying. We're trying to get, you know what?
You guys don't realize I have 300 questions in front of me.
We have so many questions, and a lot of them are very similar to one another. And we're trying to do sort of, when we get one question that's similar to another one, we try to do sort of a composite question. Because there's no way we can ask all of them. I mean, he's only here for 2 hours, and you know what? Even if he could be here for 5 hours, none of you would want to listen for that.
Hey, I don't know about
it's not even that they wouldn't want to listen to you.
That's funny.
Nobody would want to hear us for that long.
I'm only answering the questions that begin, hey, hot stuff.
So you better, hey, hot stuff, why are you such an a-hole? So...
Are you okay there?
So anyway, we are trying to get to all the questions. We're trying to get as many of them as we can. We're sort of, we are going back and forth between the Willow Tara questions and the Buffy Spike questions. And there's tons of stuff that we won't get to, like the funny little, thing that happened with
Dawn rocked last night.
Dawn was great,
and I really don't like her.
I'm sorry, Anya was great with the bar scene, and so was Xander. I mean, we had a lot of good scenes. We had a great touching moment between Buffy and Xander. Finally, at the end,
you know what? No Xander fans write questions. And no Anya fans write questions.
I mean, the thing is that we're not going to be able to talk about everything. We're going to try to do as much as we can. The reason, obviously, we have Steven in is so we can bring the questions to him and so we can listen to them. So, there we go. We're trying our best, folks. But nobody cares. They all hate us. All right.
So, where do you join this Kitty Candy Hate Club? I'm just...
I'm the president.
She hates me. I hate her.
Hey, but isn't there the old saying goes that you wouldn't want to be a club that would have you in a club that would have you as a member?
Something like that. Yeah.
So, there you go.
Give me the hard stuff. Give me the hard balls.
Okay, the hard ball. There we go.
Well, talk to these people. Talk to these Willow and Tara fans who are so mad at you.
They hate you, and now they hate us.
What do they hate me for? What?
Because you killed Tara.
It was an accident.
You killed her personally.
It was a stray shot.
Oh.
I didn't know that was going to turn out that way. I swear. I was as shocked as you were when I saw the episode.
Oh my God! People hate you now.
Come on, Tara had to go.
Come on.
Had to go.
Let's be serious about this.
Let's be serious.
Because
people do feel very close to these characters.
Yeah, and
I do too.
We got emails of people breaking down and sobbing of various things like that. So it's taken very seriously.
And I almost cried, too. It's not like I have any emotion. I mean, I love Tara. I've always liked Tara. She was always one of my favorite newer characters that came on the show. I always felt she was a guide for Buffy and for the group. I know you didn't. But I knew she was going to die, and I was very moved and touched. I mean... But it doesn't mean that I think that it was necessarily the wrong thing to do, but I was very, very sad by it, and I'm very sad for Willow and for all the people that love Tara.
Okay, but they want to hear from Steve.
Go ahead.
I totally understand. I go back to 30-something, as I often do. When Gary died, cried my eyes out. Now, of course, this was before that new interweb invention, so I had no idea what was coming, and it was powerful, powerful stuff.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and again, we did not kill her because she was a lesbian. We killed her because that's the story we wanted to tell.
Well, okay, and maybe you can't tell us more, because I'm curious what this story is you want to tell. Is this what we're going to see for the rest of the season? Can you say that much?
Yes, and into next season.
Into next season, okay.
Yes.
So it was the best way to get this story across, was to kill her.
Yes.
There was no other way to do
the
it.
story focuses on Willow, not Tara.
Well, okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, a lot of people keep asking, is Tara going to come back? I mean, what are these? Is Tara coming back? I don't know. It's sort of a strange question.
Yeah, she'll be back next week. It was a flesh wound, actually.
Just a flesh wound.
I think she'll pull through.
Well, Amber Benson is much loved at that set.
Yes, we love Amber.
And it's unfortunate because everybody loves Amber.
Amber is wonderful to work with, and
I love Amber.
It's always hard to kill off somebody that you love to work with. That's pleasant and
and the fans love.
And the fans love, but Joss thought it was necessary, and I agree with him. I thought it was a great move. I mean, we killed off Joyce. I thought that was great too.
It was sad,
poor Joyce.
but great. Poor dead people. Somebody wants to know what your role is next season on the show. Right now you are? Story editor?
I am story editor, and I will tell you at the end of the program what my role is next season.
Okay.
Wow, we have news. Breaking news?
You have breaking news right on this show.
You know what? I
Hear
did
it.
hear that there was some kind of big announcement.
Yes, and I'm going to make it.
Here?
Right on this show for your birthday.
Ooh,
Are you
thank
kidding? You're serious.
I am totally serious.
It's a big announcement. For you.
For him.
me.
Cool.
Not so much for the show. I mean, screw those guys. What have they done for me?
Seriously. Okay, well that's good. That's don't forget, okay?
Okay, I won't. Okay, get to more of those Willow Tara questions.
I'm trying because they all really just want to know why.
Right.
And
Well, there was the whole lesbian against God thing. Because we just had to...
stop.
Because, we are a very religious show.
You're
Josh
really
is
killing
very
yourself, aren't you?
Christian.
Oh, my God. You're making this a lot harder for yourself.
A lot of the things talk about, the homophobic, anti-lesbian stuff, and the show is so not that. I mean, I think we've proven it's not that, and we killed her because we thought it would be emotionally powerful and progress a story that we were telling.
Right, and like you said, it's Willow's story. Because next week, we see Willow really going over to the dark side. Obviously, she's very angry. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen next week. And obviously, this is where the story wanted to go, that it's about Willow.
Yeah, this is, this story has been building since the beginning of Season 5.
well,
I believe it was Season 5 when Willow's on the beach starting that fire and blows up out of control. I mean, this has been, not specifically...
Oh, wait, wasn't that the movie The Craft?
Ooh, they only rip off from the best.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Never
mind.
That was before I was on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, not specifically killing Tara, but this whole Willow arc has been planned for, 2.5 years.
Okay.
Okay. The other day I heard a despondent gay teenage girl in desperate pain to begin with say that Willow and Tara are the only bright light in her world, They give her hope for herself in her life, sad and painful. So, please answer this question for her. How do you think that she will feel after witnessing the end of Seeing Red? And when she hears all the other Buffy fans who couldn't care less about Willow and Tara, meaning her, applauding about Tara's death and big, bad, vengeful Willow storyline, what will you do? What do you think we should tell her about the ending of your show, from your point of view?
Yeah, well, let me start on the people who are applauding Tara's death. That's crass. That's just wrong.
I don't think people are applauding the death. I think they're applauding a well-written, at least I am.
All right, then that's okay.
You know what I mean.
I agree.
I was on the board, and there were people who were happy she got shot.
So people who didn't like Tara?
They didn't like the character.
That is
they
crap.
didn't like the acting,
Okay.
Whatever that's for. Just pipe down, Nobody needs that.
Right.
I'm not even that crass.
Believe it or
Tim
not.
Minear, maybe. But I'm not.
Yeah, you got that right.
That's it.
But, you can't really think about storylines in that way when you're trying to tell a big, grand, seasonal story. Anybody, like I said, anybody can die. Anybody can get it. Anybody can be destroyed or broken down, and it's whatever serves the story. And
we hear that a lot. Serves the story.
We do.
heard it
We do hear that a lot.
when Greenberg came in.
And is that just lip service, or is that just like some? Is that just like the way to appease us? It's
No,
all part
not
of the
at
story.
Not at all. Joss is all about telling the story. And I'm sure everybody's noticed by now that he likes to make his people suffer.
He does.
Because he finds suffering interesting, happy people not so much.
Well, there's always been this saying going around since probably since I think Angel died at the end of season 2, which was, or that he went to hell, was that Joss is evil. It's this little statement that's gone around for years now. And unfortunately, I think people tend to not take it seriously. I'm saying take it seriously.
It's so true.
The man is evil. He will hurt you. Don't trust him.
Oh, it's he's Greek tragedy man.
He
is.
Yes, he's like the huge Shakespeare fan. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course
Yeah.
he's going to like tragedy. It's like his life. He's going to be writing that kind of stuff.
Were you worried at all with the impact of Tara's death at all? I mean, on either the gay community or on her fans. Were you even worried? Did you talk about it?
We brought it up about, can we really kill off the great lesbian character who's having a wonderful relationship?
Tell us about that conversation. How did that go?
This was basically conversations with me and Petrie and Espenson and ultimately, we really came to the conclusion that we've treated her as a person on the show, and if that means she gets killed, then she gets killed. I mean, no special treatment for anybody.
Well, it's fair enough. That's all I can ask for, really.
I mean, yeah, there's, yeah.
It certainly wasn't a malicious act, like, oh, let's kill the lesbian.
Or let's kill Tara.
And I don't know how many different ways you can say that to explain that to people. Nothing was done to hurt a certain faction of fans.
Absolutely not. And again, if she had never turned gay or realized she had been gay, her boyfriend would have gotten killed.
It was about Willow.
It was about Willow.
Had
it was
nothing
not
to
about
do with
killing
who she
Tara.
was with. Okay.
It just happened to be that Tara was the one that she was with.
And to be completely honest, it works better as a story that the one good, sweet, level-headed person on the show gets it.
It is, and it's really sad too because Kitty's mentioned all season long how she's been the only really grounded one all season long. Everybody else has been flying off everywhere. She was the one taking care of Dawn. She was the one who was taking care of the house, and all that.
She was the one that Buffy could confide in. She was the one that was she was there when Buffy's mother died. I mean, and Buffy considers her a very good friend, and I mean, she's a great character.
And with Giles gone, she filled in, and with Joyce gone, she filled in a very motherly, parental role in a way. So to have that gone, does that all fit in with the growing up theme of this season? Did that play a part at all?
Well, death of a loved one is definitely part of it.
Right.
There are so many issues with the growing up theme. But definitely the death of a loved one is a huge part. I mean, it's definitely a thing that can separate your younger years from your later years when someone close to you dies.
Yeah, I can understand that very well. Okay, let's get into, no pun intended, Spike and Buffy. For at least some viewers, Spike's attempt to force himself on Buffy is a point beyond which they can ever approve of Spike and Buffy being together, no matter what happens in the future. Was that the intent? At all? Did their relationship play a part in this decision?
I cannot answer that question. I refuse to answer that question. You cannot make me answer that question.
If I poke you a lot, maybe.
How about this question?
All right, I'll answer.
Stop it.
How does Mutant Enemy reconcile endorsing a shirt with Buffy and Spike surrounded by a heart 1 month before he tries to rape her?
I haven't seen the shirt. I have nothing to do with that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can I get one?
I know we were saying I haven't seen the shirt either. I was curious.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were, but I mean, and I can tell you that when that shirt was approved and made or something, I doubt we had decided to do this. Yeah. I mean, this was something that was decided when we were breaking the episode about a week before I wrote it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. It's very interesting.
Why? Why was it?
Why is it so last minute?
Yeah. How come it was thrown in?
A lot of the details.
Because that seems like a big decision.
Well, the actual details of an episode, except for the big major things, Tara gets shot, are worked out.
But this seems like a big thing.
It. Well, we had started setting up that there was a rift between them, obviously back in Petrie's episode, As You Were. And it just progressed and progressed and progressed. And after the previous script, the way their scene ended, Marty just had the idea to take it that next dark step.
Why get darker and darker? Why not try to get back to some semblance of normality towards the end of the season? I mean,
I mean, there's a lot of reasons coming up that we wanted to do that, but even more for the character that, again, even though Spike tries to play in the human world, he is not human. He has a lot of dark impulses that are very difficult to control.
Will this continue, if you can tell us, into next season? Because, like I said, I thought that was the most interesting part of the episode in a way last night was his scene where he's talking about it. For Spike's character next season, does this play a part?
He's got some stuff to work out.
Yeah.
Issues.
He has issues. He needs some serious therapy.
Can we talk about Giles for a second?
Okay.
Giles?
I know.
Who's Giles?
Who's that?
I miss Giles.
He's been sorely missed this season. And
yes, he has.
I thought you said he's been soiled. I'm like, yes, who soiled him? Has he been befouled? That's my new favorite word.
He's been very much missed from a writing standpoint, too.
Yeah.
Because we did discover once he was gone, it's very difficult to do some scenes without him.
He just knew everything.
Bring him back.
He knew everything, and he grounded the group. He was really like the anchor.
Right, absolutely, and that's why I've mentioned earlier in the season how it's felt very disheveled. Everybody's felt really disheveled, and I know that was the purpose.
Yeah.
And Giles' absence has lent to it, because it's supposed to make us miss him and want him to bring us get us grounded as viewers.
Right, and again, it was part of the growing up theme,
right.
Where the kids move away from the parent. Obviously, the kids couldn't move away from the parent, so we had to have the parent move away from the kids.
Right. Okay, and can you tell us whether or not he will be back either this season or next?
I don't know about next season.
If
not this season. There is, they're still talking about doing the Ripper show.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Over there. The wheels of Hollywood move slowly, if at all.
True.
And they're still trying to figure out who's going to pay for it.
No, that's important.
Yeah, that's important.
It's not going to be me. I can't afford it.
So, and, Tony wanted to go back to England to be with his family.
Understandable.
And, he's sorely missed. And I'm sure if he ever decided he wanted to come back for a couple of episodes,
it's not like you'd turn him down, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And we sort of talked about this a little bit, too. Did Amber have other projects that maybe took her from the show? That maybe... Now, I know that there was a reason why you guys killed... That it was a collective effort that Tara was going to die. But did she also have other reasons for needing to leave the show?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I think she probably felt, a couple of years as that character probably got what she was going to get out of it.
I mean, got what she deserved.
I think she's a great actress, and I think that she could do a lot of things, and I'd like to see her in other things as well. I mean, of course I'm going to miss her.
And, definitely the time to jump off and try other things is when you're popular on a show.
It's when you're hot.
Exactly.
And, it's not like she came to us and said, look, I really want to leave and go do this.
Not like Seth Green.
The hardest working man show business.
He really is.
He is. We're not kidding. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Otherwise,
we're going to take a break.
Take a break.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more talk with Stephen tonight. Please stay tuned.
Including a big announcement.
So please stay tuned and join us. This song is for... Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. And that was Curve doing Chinese Burn. And that's from Bad Girls.
She's turning me on.
You're turning on? Am I turning you on now?
Well, she was turning me on.
I was turning
on. Oh, wait,
on.
not me? Okay, sorry. All right, never mind. She turning you on?
I'm getting a little something from you, too.
Okay.
A little something.
From Bad Girls, 3.14. And that goes out to Colleen, who requested it for moi, because it was my birthday. And I want to thank everyone for all the birthday wishes again. And for listening, if you're just joining us, we have Stephen DeKnight in, and he is talking about last night's episode of Buffy Seeing Red, the episode that he wrote. And
the phone's ringing off the hook,
phones are ringing off the hooks.
People hate us.
People love us. People hate Stephen. They love Stephen. There's so much stuff going on. It's just crazy. It's mayhem. We've had technical difficulties. It's probably all the bad vibes that people have been sending us.
Oh, seriously. I bet there's a few Kitty and Candy and Stephen, voodoo dolls.
No, I'm sure. But, hey, that won't be a first for me. Okay, I'm a teacher.
I'm not going there.
I'm hated a lot. So
I am looking for, a We Hate Stephenite website that
really?
will chronicle my fate. failures, which are many, and I can send in some information that'll help that out.
I'll start it. I'll start that.
Please do.
He's all behind it. Again, we are trying to get in everyone's questions. It is just about a little after 7:30 here on the left coast. We are trying to get in as many questions as we can. Like I said before, we try to composite questions together that are very similar. We're not ignoring anybody. We're not trying to avoid certain questions because Stephen's been sitting here and saying, "Hey, bring it on." He will answer anything. So we are trying our best to get everything out there. But thank you for joining us this evening.
There's also only so many ways he can say certain things.
Right.
So there's no point in asking him the same question 20 times.
Right, but maybe you want to check the attitude at the door, Stephen.
Yeah, really.
Attitude? What attitude?
It's like it was so funny. It's just like Tim Minear. I'm like, it's Tim Minear.
I was channeling a little Tim Minear.
You're channeling a little Tim?
I enjoy a little Tim Minear.
Because it was so funny about Tim because
he's a very handsome man.
He's a handsome man.
He is.
He's very handsome. And Tim's got such attitude. He's just like, hey, this is the way it is, and I don't care what anyone thinks.
If you don't like it.
I mean, I shouldn't say that because I'm not putting words in Tim's mouth.
No, but he really does. I mean, he has the biggest heart of any man I've ever met.
He's such a nice guy.
A lovely human being, but he will not censor himself.
Yes, that was...
And I'm going to take a page out of that book. The hell with y'all. You too. The hell with you.
But I want to make sure that the viewers do know that it's not that the viewers don't matter, because frankly, they are what keeps Buffy on the air. They matter a lot, but they can't. And I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but the writers can't write based on what the fans want.
We really can't. And also, it's kind of when we're in a season, if people aren't liking what's going on, it's very hard to adjust to that, because when you see an episode, we've already done like 6 or 7 more.
Right. So if it changes really abruptly, and you can't really do that.
You really can't. I mean, there's certain things you can do if...
Can you name anything that you guys have changed based on what the fans have said? Any examples?
I can't think of anything. It's more the things you may alter is... when Amber came in, I think it was only supposed to be for like an episode or a couple episodes, and the chemistry was good, the response was good, so you kept her on. Stuff like that you can do, but when you're plotting out a story, and Josh has beginning, middle, and end of seasons when we start, it's impossible really to veer too far from that, regardless of, if everybody stopped watching, it would still be very difficult to change that.
So if the ratings dropped just down to the bottom, it doesn't change the story you're telling?
Pretty much no. What it would probably change is the approach to the next season.
Okay.
Interesting.
And okay, so how about this? Has the response to this season altered how you guys are going about next season? I assume next season has already been generally mapped out. Yes, no?
Yeah. The big
general.
idea is the beginning, middle, and end have been mapped out.
So did the response to this season have anything to do with next season?
Not so much the fan response as to our response to this season.
What you liked,
what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we wanted to see more of and less of.
So you can't tell us what you did or didn't like?
No.
I just thought I'd ask.
I am sworn to secrecy. Well, obviously I didn't like Tara, because, I killed her. I loved Tara. Come on. I loved writing for Tara. I loved writing the Willow Tara scenes. They were always just, so cool to write.
And I am going to miss Tara. I like Tara.
Yeah, so am I. I definitely will miss writing the cool gay couple. That, where being gay was not the issue.
Right.
Where it was the relationship was the issue.
Absolutely. And I noticed that because I read an interview with Allison where they asked her how is it to play lesbian on television when you're perfectly straight in real life, and she said I don't approach it that way. I treat Amber and Tara the same as I approached Seth Green and Oz as Willow, because that's just how Willow is in love. This is how Willow's in love, and it didn't matter who she was paired up with. And I've always thought that the writers kind of did it the same way. So
absolutely,
it's good to know.
The gay thing wasn't an issue.
Yeah, and I loved their relationship. It was so innocent and it was so sweet, and it was so. And again, I've always been a fan of Tara. I thought she was great on the show. She will be missed. I mean, how can we say that? How can we not say that?
She will be, and also, I mean, if she is in fact really dead and it wasn't a flesh wound.
If in fact.
Just a flesh wound.
Willow is still gay. You know, at some point, I assume she may want to, I don't know, go out with another girl. I mean, you know, obviously...
Heavens forfend.
You know, I don't want to offend anyone that thinks she should mourn Tara forever, but it's not like you're going to turn back in and, oh my God, she's gone back to being straight.
All right.
Well, she's going to be evil for a little while, though. I like the new
2 or
hair.
3 seasons, you know.
2 or 3 seasons.
Tops.
This is a question that's something that I noticed, and we talked about off the air in the last break, was the balance of last night's episode with the comedy and the action and we haven't had a good Buffy fight in a while, you know.
The good Buffy fight.
And you're great at writing Buffy fights. They've actually in almost every one of your episodes, great big Buffy fight.
I'm a big fan of the Buffy fight.
Yeah. So last night's fight with Warren, I thought was great. You got the action, you got the comedy.
Okay, can I just tell you how hysterical it was when Warren takes off with the jetpack and then Andrew tries to and he hits his head? John and I cracked up. We thought it was hilarious.
I would love to take all the credit for that. That's a Joss Whedon idea he had early on in the season, and he just didn't know where to put it in. But luckily, I got it.
Luckily, you got jetpacks.
Yes, I got jetpacks.
I know, and the fact that Xander looks at you and goes, it's Klingon. I was like, oh my God, I love it. I love it.
All right, that one was mine. I claim that
I'll take credit
so
for
good.
That. So somebody wants to know, when you're writing an episode that has so many intense scenes, how difficult is it to write the lighter moments? You know, like Dawn's reaction to seeing Willow and Tara together was great. I thought that was so awesome.
It was so genuine.
And it's because I just love the balance. Is it difficult when you go and you're writing these really big dramatic things?
Not really. I mean,
do they come easier?
Well, it's just you have to write the scripts so damn fast. It's all kind of a blur.
Right.
It's pretty much, you know, you've got to write 12 to 15 pages a day, and it's get up in the morning right until you go to bed at 1 o'clock, and you know, it's you just keep slogging through.
Was there anything that you wrote that you turned into Joss and he's like, no, change it?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's that way with every script. You'll hand in a script and, you know, you get some
notes.
stuff right, you get some stuff wrong. Depending on the script, you will get a lot of notes or a few notes. I got a lot of notes on this one because I was having a real hard time keying into what he wanted. And so, you know, it was down to the wire. You know, actual work, which again I'm against.
It's tough.
Was there any concern that portraying Buffy, Willow, and Xander behaving so hurtfully towards the people who love them would damage the audience's ability to sympathize with them?
Well, you know, people who really love each other will do horrible things to each other. They'll have fights. Hello, you too.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, if you really care about each other, you work past it. That's part of growing up. Yeah.
I did.
And that's like, you know, Buffy and Xander had this big thing, and at the end they basically both said, I'm sorry, I should have acted differently.
I like that scene because they both compromised in that scene. I thought that was really well done. I was surprised that Xander gave up as much as
nobody was right. Nobody was wrong.
I was so happy that Xander finally was like, okay, you know, because I was like, Xander, come on, it's Buffy, you love her, come on. I was glad. Of course, that whole scene was like, or ended terribly.
Wow.
But it was a great little scene to have before the horrible part.
Somebody wanted to know, and I didn't print out the question, but they wanted to know about Andrew's comment about
Warren
loving him. You know, I thought he really, or I guess he didn't really love hanging out with us. You want to
draw your own conclusion?
Okay.
It was interesting because we have Willow and Tara with their relationship, and we have Buffy and Spike with their relationship, and then we had Warren and Andrew. Now it was interesting because Andrew was like, you know, I mean, you know, we have Jonathan who's kind of like, you guys are freaks, you know.
I love Jonathan.
Jonathan was so funny. It was interesting that the three parallels because they always do that.
When he jumped on Buffy, I'm like, Jonathan, no, and then he whispers in her ear, like, good boy, Jonathan, good boy. I knew you knew all along that he's the only one that has any
orbs. And I was like,
orbs.
Buffy's like, what? What do you want? Kick him in the nuts? What?
Every reference to the orbs just had me rolling. I just loved it. How can you not?
And Jonathan in that demon suit. Did you please tell me you wrote that?
I did.
That's hilarious.
I did. That was my pitch. The demon suit.
Oh my! I loved that. I was like, how brilliant is that? That they had to put him in a demon suit so he can get through the barrier, and it was all squishy. That was gross. But there was a lot of funny things about this episode.
Absolutely. But back to more serious things.
Danny Strong hated me for putting him in that suit.
Oh, I bet.
Hell of uncomfortable.
You're like, haha, too bad.
Back to something more serious here. I've heard that the attempted rape scene in Seeing Red was toned down.
Actually, no. That wasn't toned down.
Was it toned up?
You know, the last cut of that I saw was the cut that aired. the only thing that was toned down was, in fact, the second Willow Tara bed scene. It went on a little longer. You actually see her head go under the covers, and then there's a tighter shot of Tara's reaction to what's going on. Yes, and they cut out her final line. She actually says, "Evil's good." Apparently, that was a little too much for UPN standards and practices.
God, people hate
And
me.
yet, I have a copy of that cut.
You do?
Oh, you bet I do.
Ooh.
Such is my power.
Ooh. Are you going to give one us to give away? He's like, no.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Top secret. No, but the bathroom scene. If they toned anything down, I sure didn't catch it. I mean, it was exactly what I saw in the last edit.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to ask that.
What about that one about John? Was there a
What do you
John
got?
question?
Was that a particularly nasty one?
No.
Was that offensive?
They just want to know why.
Did they talk about my hair?
They just want to know why you lie when you're asked questions.
I don't lie.
When on the bronze and stuff?
Of course I lie. Come on. I'm not going to tell you guys what's going on.
No, okay.
Disinformation. Did you learn nothing from Nixon?
This episode was seen a week earlier by a lot of people. It apparently got out somehow. I didn't watch it, but...
Some kind of crazy story about they sent the wrong wild feed to Canada.
Yeah.
The Canadians are screwing me up again. Apparently, every Monday they beam Tuesday's episodes to Canada, and because we had been moved in the schedule, last night's episode had been pushed a week later because they had decided to air the last 2 hours as a 2-hour special.
We're glad for that.
So they sent the wrong episode. And, they sent the right episode like that afternoon, but it had already been beamed out and stolen by those crazy interweb pirates.
Well, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
People knowing ahead of time.
How did everybody find out?
It's so impossible to control information. The hardcore fans will always be able to find out what's going on.
True.
And we just hope that, for the rest of the casual fan, the fans that don't follow the internet stuff, will be surprised.
Yeah. Okay, that's all you can really ask for.
And I always tell everybody, for the love of God, stay away from the spoilers because you will enjoy it so much better if you don't know what's coming. 30-something, once again, because I have to mention that every time. If I had known Gary was going to die on 30-something, it would have lessened the impact.
It's so true, though, and I would love to be able to stay away from spoilers, but doing this job, it's virtually impossible because people email me and say, oh my God, look what happened.
Like, oh my God, Tara's dead.
I'm like, okay.
And the thing was that I was spoiler free until I knew that, but then John was like, don't tell me anything. And I kept letting it slip. I'm like, oh, so-and-so's going to die. I mean, oop. And I was like, I think he was trying to ignore me because
I kept trying to do the same thing with my friends, and, I would say, the lesbians are going to be really angry with me. Oh, wait, they don't know. They don't know anything.
Not for any reason you need to know. Let's take one last break.
Okay.
Our last break. And when we...
to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. That was Melanie Doan doing I Can't Take My Eyes Off You, and that's from Family 4.6, and that is for all the Tara and Willow fans and everyone else out there who love... I love that song. It's so beautiful. And it's just for everyone out there. Just, we feel the pain, too. We do. I'm going to miss Tara terribly.
Is now not a good time to say I really hated the floating at the end of Family?
Might not be a good
Are you
time.
insane?
I didn't like the floating either.
I
But,
love the floating.
I still love Willow and Tara.
I'm just saying, I didn't like the floating. Okay, we got a phone call in regards to what?
Oh, I was going...
Oh.
It was me going, okay. So, what are you doing over there?
Something you mentioned on the bronze, apparently you asked about the kitten board.
Yes, I did.
It's not about me, apparently.
No, not about you.
No.
Well, it might be pretty soon.
I asked about the kitten board because I was thinking about
Are you going to go there?
Dropping by. I would love to. As soon as I get this chance. Hopefully, I will. I'm going on vacation. Officially today, but I'm going to go away and do some traveling, see the world, try to find my spiritual center. Starting Monday, and hopefully I'll get a chance to drop in before that. But I have been going to the kitten board and reading what people were saying about the episode,
but
getting the unadulterated truth. No, but I haven't posted. I haven't had a chance. But like I said, I do not shy away from the tomatoes and the fruit and the angry people. Of course, some people are upset. I completely understand that. And hopefully I'll get a chance to drop by and, they can, vent on me in person.
And you could validate their feelings.
Yeah, because I'm a horrible person.
You're evil.
Yeah.
You are so evil.
little bit.
Just a little.
A little evil.
Just a wee bit.
Just a smidge.
Well, we have about 5 to 10 minutes left. Do you want to talk about this big announcement?
The big announcement. Yes, I was, so completely horrified that we killed the lesbian character. I'm actually leaving Buffy.
You're kidding.
No. That was
Be serious.
That was my last official Buffy episode.
You're kidding. You're serious?
I am totally serious. You heard it here first.
What are you doing?
I was outraged and well.
No, be serious. Be serious.
Be serious.
Well, the amazing Joss Whedon came to me with a Godfather offer I could not refuse.
Firefly?
No, I'm going to Angel.
You are?
Yes.
Well, good. The show really needs you.
I will be working on Angel next season.
Oh, my
downstairs.
God. Awesome.
Now, okay, tell us, when he came to you, why?
Because Tim Minear is probably going to run Firefly.
He's leaving Angel?
Yeah, day to day. He's still going to write and direct some episodes.
He's the only saving grace.
Tim Minear is great. And so he wanted to move me down there.
Wow. Because Buffy had a lot more writers than Angel did, in general.
Yeah, like twice as many.
Yeah, because Minear wrote, most of their episodes.
Yeah, so, Buffy still has, they hired a new person
who?
before I went down. Drew Goddard, a new writer, Drew Goddard.
Another
Starts
Drew.
next season.
Another Drew. We actually call old Drew now is Golden Age Drew.
Oh, okay.
And,
we call him Druzy.
We call him Druzy.
The new Drew is Ultimate Drew.
Start calling him Druzy.
We do. We do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. I thought we
So Josh said, promotion raise to be negotiated, and you want to go downstairs? And I said, yeah.
So let me think about it. Okay.
Yeah, promotion raise, Angel. Yeah, and I really like Angel. I'm a fan of the show. I think it's a beautiful looking show, and
you're only going to make it better.
I'll try.
Please make it better.
Make it better. Problems with Angel that I should know about before I go down?
Just a handful.
Come on.
We didn't like it this season. How's that?
We didn't like it that much this season.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
No, we like it
there
recently.
Were good episodes.
Recently, it's gotten much better, but overall,
I think there were just some continuity things and certain things like why. And I guess people might say that about last night. Why? But
in fact, the angriest I've gotten on the posting board was not for any of my episodes. It was for the Monday episode of Angel.
Last Monday?
Yeah.
I missed it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, the one with Connor came back?
When I went on the posting board, it's some of the comments I just thought were a little too much, particularly one rant where they listed for a long paragraph everything they hated. This was stupid, that was stupid, I hated that. And at the very end said, I can't wait for the next episode. It's like, well, come on. What do you? If you hate everything, what are you watching for?
God.
And a lot of people didn't like the fight stuff that they're trying out, which I really like.
Oh, the slow mo kind of.
The mixing slow mo with the fast mo.
The Matrix type looking stuff.
The digital background morphs.
Cool.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes
it's different.
It's
I thought it was interesting.
More or less, I like it.
I really liked it, and I also liked the digital where Connor jumps on the back of the bus, which you don't see on TV.
So definitely.
That's cool stuff.
Well, will you still come back to the show and hang out?
Well,
absolutely.
We do talk about Angel.
Yes,
once
we
in
do
a while.
on occasion.
You see, Buffy gets the first hour, then we have random stuff for like a half hour, then Angel
squeeze an Angel
at
at 10 minutes.
That's pretty much how it goes.
But a lot of the times we do get Angel people on. We get Angel writers, Angel, people with the show. So we do spend a lot of time when they come on. So.
Yeah, and for those of you, lamenting,
they're cheering
cheering Buffy. I will be doing at least one Buffy episode.
Yeah, that's the great thing is that you guys, like Fury just did an episode of Angel, so you guys can cross-pollinate.
I was confused. That's good. I was confused.
It's very X-Files, isn't it?
Yeah, we like a little cross-pollination.
Who doesn't?
I know, really.
So, okay, well, what color underwear are you wearing today? Are you going commando for sure?
Hell no.
So what color underwear are you wearing?
Why don't you guess?
I thought he was going to say, why don't you find out?
I know, I was like...
Why don't you find out, Mama?
Okay, is there a pattern on it?
Yes.
Okay, yellow duckies.
No, but the yellow's correct.
Oh, okay.
I got half of it.
Happy faces.
No.
Sunshine.
No. Somebody out there already knows the answer, I can tell. I can
monkeys?
sense it. No monkeys.
Oh, I like the monkey reference.
Is it an animal or is it a thing?
Or
a person?
Animal? Person.
It's a person? It's you.
It's Elmo.
Little peoples of you.
Elmo.
Don't I wish?
Big Bird. Oh, he's yellow.
A person?
It's sort of. There's a person inside.
Big Bird. Are we still talking about Amanda?
Yeah. I give up.
What is it?
Well, let me show you.
Okay.
He's really doing
Here comes
it, kid.
the pants going down.
He's unbuckling his
Oh, I see
belt.
the yellow.
What are they?
Oh,
Is it
little
a
hula piece? It's like a
hula
aloha
girl?
underwear.
Oh.
He's got like little hula girls and little drums. It says aloha. So
Very
you're going
cool.
on vacation?
You know, I mean, even the people that hated what was done, you know, thanks for caring so much. I mean, you know, we try to create a world that you can get immersed in, and I guess it's working.
I'm immersed.
So thanks a lot.
I'm immersed.
I am.
I'm so immersed.
I'm so immersed.
Okay.